Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I'm going to quickly show you the new TrueDX Fatshark compatible receiver from FuriousFPV. In this video I'm just going to go over the model features, show you its menus, and in the next few days, once the weather will allow it, I'm going to head outdoors and compare it side by side with the TrueD 3.8, the Rapid Fire, and the RC RX. In terms of features, first of all, the big difference between the TrueDX and the previous receivers from FuriousFPV is that it's using a similar technology to the Analog Plus technology that the Immersion RC Rapid Fire is using. So it's not just picking up the best signal out of the antennas that it's using based on the RSSI. It actually combines both received images together in order to enhance the video quality. Navigating between the options and setting up the receiver is done using this BlackBerry style navigation dial, so you can just roll it to the right, to the left, up and down. You can also click it, and you can also find two buttons on the sides. Finally, unlike pretty much every updatable receiver, the TrueDX doesn't have a micro USB port, so updating the firmware is done via Bluetooth using a dedicated app, which will also enable you to configure the receiver. In terms of compatibility, the TrueDX is compatible with the Fatshark Dominator goggles, the FuriousFPV docking, and pretty much every FPV goggles that is using the Fatshark Dominator receiver module bay. The module cover is going to be available in a few colors, including red, and I also hope that they are going to offer a clear option, which is actually my favorite. And this is, by the way, an early prototype that was sent to me a few months ago. So FuriousFPV extensively tested this model before releasing it to the market. Just like the Immersion RC Rapid Fire, the TrueDX operates on a higher voltage, so if you're going to use it with a pair of HDO or with the FuriousFPV docking, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to use it with the HD3, for example, you will need to power it up using the head tracker bay. So first of all, you will need to desolder these two pads and solder the center pad with this one, which will enable the module to be powered externally. And then you will need to use this accessory, which is provided in the kit. Connect it to this connector, which is located inside the head tracker bay. So it's going to be placed in this position. And in addition, along with the receiver, you're also getting these two ribbons. So you will need to connect one end to the receiver. The metal pins need to face down, so you will need to insert it and just give the plastic part a little push in order to secure it. In the same manner, the other side of the ribbon is going to be connected to the power adapter. After that, you have two options. You can either place the ribbon on the front and put a sticker in order to secure it, or you can open up a hole and then slide the cable through it. Now I've got the TrueDX mounted on the docking, so let's power it up. Pressing the ball is going to take us to the main menu, so you can switch between the options by just sliding it to the right or to the left. First, you can see all the saved channels, and if you'd like, you can also delete a channel or remove it by long pressing the ball. So you can delete it, and you can also switch between different profiles. So now it is set to profile 2, and now it's back to profile 1. If you want to go back, you can either press the top or the back buttons. Next, you can see all the channels. So by sliding the ball to the right or to the left, you can switch between the channels, and to the top and to the bottoms, you can switch between the bands. Next, you can perform a smart search, which is going to scan all the available frequencies. Next, you can find a band scanner. You can configure the settings over here. So you can set the gain options. So right now you can see the gain options are displayed only on the screen of the TrueDX. I'm still not sure about the settings and I need to figure it out. Next, you can set the auto lock button. If it's set to on, you can long press the button in order to lock the channel. You can see that now it's locked and you cannot enter the menu. So if you'd like to unlock the receiver, you'll need to long press the center ball and then hit unlock. Next, you can set the RSSI warning. So you can set it to 20, 35 and 50%. So if the RSSI is going to be below this value, an alarm is going to be shown. You can enable or disable the quick boot. Next, you can perform a calibration. So what it will require you to do is to connect a VTX, which is going to be set to 25 milliwatt, place it around 1 meter next to the receiver, and then press calibrate. Next, you can set the docking LED strip. You can restore the values to the default settings. And finally, you can save and exit the menu. Next, you can set the OSD layout, but for that, you're going to need to connect VTX. Otherwise, you won't be able to see anything on the screen. So now I'm going to quickly connect the VTX. Now we can see the image. And if we go back to the OSD layout, you can see that we can change the position of the on-screen display. So now I'm moving the antenna indication to the top left. You can also set the antenna graph type. So you can see now we can see only the indication bars. Type 3 is only going to show us the frequency. Type 1 is going to show us both indications. And if you'd like, you can also turn it off. So now no indication is displayed. Next, you can set on and off the lap clock, the lap result, and you can turn on and off the warnings. Next, the lap timer is a feature that will enable you to time your laps based on the RSSI of the receiver. So you can set the race type between lap count or fixed time. The start time from either when you press start or when your quadcopter arrives at the gate. You can set the start delay, the number of laps. Of course, if you're going to choose the lap option, if you're going to set it to fixed time, you will be able to set the race time. You can set the antenna that will determine the laps. You can set it to auto, either the top antenna or the bottom one. The sensitivity of the receiver can be set either to very high, high, medium, low, or very low. The default option is high. You can set the minimum lap time, the threshold for the RSSI. So in this case, if it's going to be greater than 80%, it's going to count the lap. You can set the frequency. You can also watch the last result. And in order to start the timer, you just need to press the tracking ball. And now I'm going to connect the quadcopter again. Now you can see over here the timer. Now I'm going to move away the quadcopter from the receiver. And you can see now it registered the lap. Long pressing the tracking ball will enable you to pause the race. You can also restart it, see the results, or go back to the settings, which are also possible by pressing the top or the bottom buttons. Next, you can enter find mode, which will enable you to find a lost quadcopter. So over here you can see the indication of the RSSI, and then using a directional antenna, you can see where your quadcopter is located. Of course, if the battery is still connected and the VTX is powered up. And finally, you can exit the menu. Long pressing the top button is going to enable you to perform a quick search. So you can see, I just pressed it. You will see an indication on the screen. Now it found the best signal of F1, which is 5740, and this feature is also useful for an event, so if you'd like, you can switch between all the frequencies that it found, and if you'd like to select an option, just press the center button, and as you can see, now it was selected. So this was just a quick rundown of the TrueDX features, and by the way, in terms of pricing, it's going to be between $100 and $120, and the final price, as far as I know, has not been determined yet. The most important thing, of course, is to see how it's going to perform, which, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, is going to happen in the next few days. As always, I thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it and you find it useful. If you have any questions about the TrueDX, feel free to ask it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you like this video, and consider subscribing to my channel and hitting the notification bell if you're not already subscribed. See you in my next videos, and goodbye.